Today there's a bonsai exhibit here at the Birmingham Botanical Gardens, and you can see these miniature plants. Now, if I may ask, how do you create bonsai? How do you miniaturize a plant?
Scare them to death.
So all I have to do is show them my picture, and then we're all set?
It's usually a good starting material. Let's say like an elm like this.
So this is an elm tree.
This is an elm.
That is an elm tree.
A variety of Chinese elm.
A Chinese elm, and that's just to give you an idea. Here's my hat.
Yep.
And here's that tree. I mean, that's a small tree. I mean, if you let's put it this way: if you wanted to take my business card, you would not get enough wood out of this tree to make my business card very well. So how do you miniaturize a tree like this? How is that done?
Root pruning, pinching back leaves and trimming them, and repotting the trees every other season or so when they need additional attention, and you keep them within the confines of their pot where they're not allowed to grow vigorously.
So how long would it take to turn a clipping into this bonsai tree?
If you were to take a clipping that you put some root hormone and you put it in some dirt, depending on the variety, you could start seeing its results in 4 or 5 years possibly when you've done some.
So this is not a quick process. Despite the size of the plant, they still have to grow like a regular plant.
Right. It's not like the ones on the side of the road where they chop them down, put them in a pot, and they die in a week. So these are what would you say, 8 to 10 years old on one of these little elms.
And how long will a tree like this live?
Probably outlive you if it was taken care of. I mean, it'll live a lifetime.
Well, I don't take care of myself as well as I should, so that's not too hard. But could you describe some of the trees that you have here?
Sure. These are Jacqueline Hillier elms. Are actually a variety of a Chinese elm. We have Sarissa, and over on the end,
jades over there.
Now, when you say a jade, what is a jade?
It's a succulent that's basically being trained as a tree.
Trained as a tree. I like the way you put that.
They make good trees. They grow fairly quickly, and they're easy to propagate.
Yeah, you can put them indoors in front of a big sunny windowsill, and they do very well.
And these are dwarf mugo pines. These are, of course, all outdoor varieties. You wouldn't want to leave these indoors. Just like a big pine tree out in the yard, you don't bring it in the house. So you have to leave it outside. But they all have their own nuances in how you take care of them. They have different feeding and care habits. You have a juniper over here that's got some driftwood or dead wood on it that's been carved away. The bark's been peeled away to simulate age on the wood. So we actually use some lime sulfur on the wood to give it a dead wood effect. And we take care of these. We trim back. We pinch off excess growth to stunt the growth and keep it compact. So let's see, these are Kingsville boxwoods, just like you'd see a boxwood or shrub out in a yard. These, because they have such small leaves, make really good compact leaf structures for miniature trees. These grow very slowly. The gentleman behind you over here is your boxwood expert. He's got several that he sells material that's a good starter material to get a head start on.
Now, what prompted you to get involved in bonsai? Was it something that you were interested in all the time, or is it something that you saw at an exhibit like this and said, hey, this is something interesting?
Yeah, I've been a 30-year IT professional that I needed something that was a good hobby and stress reliever, and these really don't care anything about technology.
As a person whose professional name is the tech guy, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So it's one of those things that it's a good pastime, and I found I had an interest in it. I managed to keep a couple of trees alive after the first year, so I figured I'd keep trying.
Now, I have one question that immediately occurred to me. Now, if you have especially a cat, I imagine a dog is not that much of a problem, depending on the size of the dog. I mean, a Pekingese dog might actually find use for some of these trees, unfortunately, but in the house. But how do animals deal with these in the house? Do they do they think of them as trees? Do they react because of the smell of them the same as
Depends
a
on
regular
the
tree? Or?
fertilizer. If you use fish emulsion, which is a common organic fertilizer, it naturally attracts squirrels, cats, all types of animals. So you certainly want to keep a tree outside if you're using that type of fertilizer on it. But
Okay.
they like to dig. You'll find that outdoors squirrels will dig feed pellets out of the soil and really get after it. So it's you do have to deal with pests. I usually keep animals that are bigger than the ones that are trying to get in the trees.
Now, the Alabama Bonsai Society, how long has that been around?
That gentleman right there would be the perfect one to talk to. He is one of our founding
In that case, I will stop tape and then